He may be tall, but his dick is small. It's
Mama, have you seen the Reddit? Have you seen the Reddit?
have you been leaked?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll put a little picture from the Reddit up on the Instagram when we do the interview.
Sweet. How do you feel about it? Do you feel pressed?
Bro, I don't care. I said to my friend Anne before the show came out, I went, it's inevitable that my nudes are going to get out there eventually. I says, God, but the amount of times that I just hand them out.
Willy-nilly, if you pardon the pun.
Never in the Truffle Pigs inbox. Wow.
Rude and selfish.
And presenting to the stage, the most precious of all, it is Miss Ellie Diamond.
Woohoo!
How you doing, babe?
Hello.
I'm going to say it, the most iconic painter of season 2, maybe of Drag Race UK.
All time.
If Cherry wasn't eliminated so early, then yes, I am the most iconic painter. I think Cherry's paint is something else. And if she stayed longer, I'm sure she would have been able to showcase that more, you know.
She's like the yang to your yin, isn't she? She's a lot more dark mistress than your cutesy angel.
Yeah. I think a little bit more of the dark mistress in me. Wow,
we'll see. Check that But you can definitely tell that you've like finessed the shapes of your face. Do you have a background in like fine art? Are you a painter?
No.
Really?
I mean, I've done like art in school or whatever, and I was always just very creative as a very, very young child. I used to take bits of cards and cardboard and like pieces of paper and make like diagrams of the house that we lived in. Not diagrams, bird's eye views of like the houses that we lived in, like ground floor, top floor, and stuff like that.
Oh, like a 3D model kind of thing.
Yeah, a 3D model.
Very grand designs.
I done technical theatre in college, so like that was quite a lot of skill for like hand-on prop making, set design, stuff like that. So I've always just been very creative and like doodling in the jotters and the notebooks and stuff, and they're supposed to be doing work, but I'd be doing like big cartoon eyes and whatnot.
So would you say your inspiration is more then from the theatrical world rather than the fashion, or is it like a meeting of minds together?
I mean, I'm not a fashion girl. Like, that's not my first fortune. Like, that's a Horace gig, and I'm gonna leave her with that. But like, I just take inspiration and like ideas from anything. Like, I like a lot of fashion runways, but sometimes I'm like, that it doesn't float my boat a lot of the times. But no, I can kind of meets. It's more theatrical than it is ready for the runway.
Fantasy than like fashion.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna go see a panto, but it's like pumped up with Rockstar and Energy Monster. Yeah.
So who would you say are your makeup inspirations? Who sticks out as? They don't have to be other makeup artists, like even if it's inspired from
even cartoons, even.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of anime, but I love the way that anime is drawn, and I love I used to draw like chibi when I was younger, and it's like a smaller sort of like squished down scale of like human like. Oh my God! You hear my voice right there? What's going on?
Very, very clocky.
Very you in the comedy challenge.
Literally, Dirty Diamond's coming back out, honey. No, so like I love taking inspiration from like cartoons. And I mean, I like a lot of drag queens paint. When Aja used to paint her face like full on like makeup mug, I loved when Aja done her makeup. Blue Hydrangea, I take a lot of inspiration from Blue as well. Love Blue. And like honestly, anyone that I'm like, oh, I like that color, or I like how you've done that with your crease, or the colors you've used for that, the shapes of X, Y, and Z. I love. I seen someone this morning do a rectangle cut crease. And I was like, that's cool. I've never seen it. It's, instead of like a shape like that, they've gone up, along, and back down.
Does that not
I
make
was like,
their brow so heavy? I say with
it looked very blocky. Well, it looked like they done like a Mario Kart thing, so their eyebrows were still quite blocky, but it was pretty cool. So I was like, I could try that. That'd be nice. See how it works.
YouTube, yeah.
Oh God,
have you got any collaborations with any makeup brands coming up? Because that would be perfect, wouldn't it? Like the Ellie Diamond eyeshadow palette, glitter box.
I mean, I would love that to happen, and the opportunity just has to be there for that to happen. And at the moment, there isn't. So it's just like
I say, just start emailing people, and someone will snap you up.
Pick it up. How did you feel though? Raven went crazy for all people.
That was pretty cool. I mean, I had looked up for Raven and Raven's makeup for ages. I mean, I never, during her season, I was like, oh, you know, makeup's cool or whatever. But that was, Raven was always like, I wore so much makeup back then where everyone just used to do like smoky eye and black lip or whatever. But like, that was just always the amount of makeup that I would always put on. Like, I was never that girl to wear no makeup. I always had loads of makeup on. So her saying that, I was just like, it was quite special because I just love the way that she does her face now and everything. Like all the nose contouring and the shape of the eyes and everything. It's just like everything you want to be, I guess.
How accurately do you feel you and your drag were portrayed on the show? Do you feel like that was the true ED experience?
Yeah, and I'm like, I say that to everyone. I had such a good run on the show. Like, I wasn't upset about anything that happened. I don't regret anything that happened, and I don't wish I'd done anything. Don't wish I'd done anything differently. Like, everything happens for a reason, and that was my experience. So therefore, like, that's just how I've just accepted that, and I'm like, it wasn't a bad thing. Everything on that show was good for me, from my eyes. Like, I didn't have a bad experience at all, and I feel like I was portrayed exactly how I am. Like, I have like this cute, sweet, like side or whatever, and then like I get a little bit dirty, a little bit shady, a little bit like naughty or whatever. I can get all. It was well portrayed altogether. Yeah.
Well, that's so nice to hear.
I think yours was really balanced. I didn't feel like you had any moments where you came off as like being a bit. I don't even think you came off as being a bitch at all, really.
No, even with the whole comedy lineup thing, I was like, come on, gals, it's the name of the game. Ellie's just playing it. You would have done the same if you were her.
Did you know at the time that was going to be such a fucking kerfuffle?
Well, I had done it in the night. I had made the running order the night before in the hotel. Because the night before, they were like, okay, so tomorrow you're going to be doing a comedy challenge about love, sex, and relationships. So start, thinking about that. As well as the mini challenge, you're going to be singing. So learn these words. And I was like, singing challenge, huh? Oh, I'm winning. I was like, oh, I already know I'm winning. Because out of the group, Bimini can rap, and the rest, Lawrence and Tace, girl, they can't sing. and Ahora can't sing either. And they can't sing. Tace can probably rap. Anyways, so I went home that night and I was like, okay, I learned the words. I started singing the song and I was like, girl, I've got the song down. And then I wrote the running order in the hotel the night before and I was like, that's shady, but it's right. And I told the producer in the morning, I was like, hey, by the way, I was like, if I win this challenge, I know exactly what I'm doing. And just like sort of like had a little joke or whatever, won the challenge. And they were like, what's the running order? And I was like, I had the running order prepared last night. It was in my pocket. I was like, there you go. I gave them that. And they were like, yes. They were like, keep this. This is gold. They were like, don't change it. And I was like, okay, great. And then they were like, just before, you say, kind of where you want to go or what you're going to do with someone, just kind of ask them, like how, where they want to be put, like give them a little scenario. So I was like, where would you guys want to be put? Anyways, this is what I'm doing. And then that's how the drama started. And I was like, oh, they played that well. And then when I got upset, I like went off camera, cried for half an hour being like, I want to change the running order. And they were like, we're not going to put the cameras back up. You're not doing it. And I was like, okay. So it
is what it is, I guess.
Girl, literally.
But who knew that was going to be it was dragged through so many episodes. When it was brought up again by Lawrence on like the third episode, I was like, let it go. And I was at the beginning, I was on Lawrence's side. I was like, oh, it's shady. Within about 10 minutes of it, I'd flipped.
Yeah.
Flip reversed it.
Mama, she's a virus.
But yeah, it's playing the game. I'm so glad as well that as soon as you stood up, RuPaul was like, that's how you play the game. Because as soon as RuPaul said it, everyone was like, hello, we're in a competition.
Literally. And it was even in the thing when RuPaul was like, called me a shady bitch or whatever for doing it. And then we went into Untucked and Lawrence was like, but she knew there was something up. And I was like, exactly. I was like, that's exactly what it was. Like, she knew there was shit getting played. But guess what? She doesn't want her TV show to be nicey and all fun and games and everyone gets a fair chance. She wants her TV show to be like dramatic and thing to get the views and that, to get the money in.
Yeah, of course.
But then they didn't show the bit on stage afterwards where they asked who should go home.
Well, so at that time, it was Ahora, me, Bimini, Lawrence, and Tace. That was the lineup. And Ahora was asked first, and she said, me. because I had no badges. And I says, cool, well, I'm not going to say myself because I'm not an idiot. So therefore, I'm going to say you. Because at that point, she only had, what did she have? No, she had 2 badges at that point. Did she? Yeah, she did. Whoops.
I mean, it's a competition. She said you. So if you say me,
yeah, she said me. I think that's what my brain went. I think it went, well, you said me, I'm going to say you. And then everyone else continued to say me. And everyone just said me. And I was like, okay. And then we went on to Untucked and they were like, oh, how do you feel about, getting picked that everyone said your name? And I was like, you had to say somebody's name. I was like, you're not going to say yourself. And I didn't say myself. So like, I don't know, pick the weakest in the group. That's fine. I wasn't bothered. Same with the everyone's like, oh, getting picked last in the group. I was like, I don't really care. I was like, you just have the cookie crumbles and therefore I'm the last bit of the cookie. Oh, well.
Positive mental attitude from the youth of England and Scotland, the UK, sorry.
Oh, yes.
She's not bitter yet. It's, but that's so good to hear that you feel like it was represented properly, because I feel like so often you see queens that go on and then when they come off, they're like, that, I didn't get to show, like, whether it's like the edit or whatever, or they just didn't feel like the challenges reflected their skills. It's so good to hear that you're like,
totally.
I went in and I fucked it up and that's it. And Final 4.
What challenge were you most shitting it for?
I mean, I guess Snatch Game is probably number 1, just because I was like, I knew the character of Vicky Pollard and I knew that I was able to do it well, but like in the moment, whether it happens or not is a different story. Lawrence Chaney.
I call shade.
So I was like, but then we went into it and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have fun, and I did. So probably Snatch Game, and then the other one probably the comedy challenge, honestly, just because I was like so nervous. And then I had a corset really, really tight that day, and I remember just like being so out of breath, and you can hear it in the show, maybe like just like breathing through my corset, because I was just like, I tried to get my waist in as small as I could just to look really good, and then I just couldn't breathe through the entire set.
I feel like the comedy challenge, I would shit myself.
Oh yeah, I'd absolutely hate it.
The absolute worst. Because there's just no in between. You either everyone's screaming and laughing, having a good time, or you fucking bomb. Like, there's nothing in between. So I feel like that's
especially when there was no audience.
Oh, that's so awkward. Because at least if like the judges don't like it, someone will give you a little half laugh that will give you a bit of confidence.
Literally. And like, as when you're there as well, you can like bounce off of audiences. Like, I would love to see how an audience would work with Dirty Diamond. I mean, they're going to get it eventually, my mum.
They're going to find out.
They're going to find out one way or another. But no, that would have been fun to have an audience there, but COVID in it.
No.
Do you feel cheated that you didn't get to do the makeover challenge? Because obviously you would have smashed that.
Yes, that's the one thing. When me and Lawrence were FaceTiming, when like during the pandemic, we weren't supposed to. During the pandemic, we were FaceTiming, and Lawrence was like, "Oh, what do you think you'll win when you go back?" And I was like, "I think if we do a makeover challenge, I think I would have been a makeover challenge." And my makeover challenge was going to be so good, but didn't get to do it.
What sort of vibe were you planning for the makeover challenge?
I had a Dr Seuss vibe going on, so
oh my
I was going to be
cheated.
So I had I had these like, wait, let me get it.
Ooh! A Cliffhangers
because it's just sitting right here. So I was like, I might as well. I mean, it's a little bit broken now because it's literally been sitting since January of 2019. But like, Christ. I was going to do thing 1 and thing 2.
Oh my God, that would have been sick.
How were we cheated out of this?
And I had like nose prosthetics and like red sequin gowns, and I had little purses that said Hing 1 and Hing 2 because you couldn't do it for copyright, but like for Scotland we could say Hing.
Yeah.
Will you give us a photo shoot with a local friend so we can see?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do photos of me and thing 1, but I want to get a Cat in the Hat costume first, so I'm gonna get that done so that I can do like a full thing of it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so
can't wait.
I'm annoyed because I feel like that challenge would have been so good this season.
Yeah, we saw Ahura's outfits and they were amazing as well. The leopard and blonde.
Yeah, and Lawrence done like her Glasgow subway. She had like a pink, 2 pink matching cat suits with like head wraps and everything. It was really nice.
Did you know anyone else apart from Lawrence before the show?
I knew of a lot of people. I knew me and Ginny had met very, very briefly before. And me and Joe had met as well quite briefly before. Like never like hung out for a long period of time. It was like at a convention or at a show. But then anyone else I didn't really, I mean, I knew of a lot of people, but there were some people like Bimini and Cherry I didn't know of at all. I had no idea who they were. And then Tia, I knew Tia. We met at DragCon like 2-3 months beforehand. And the last thing that me and Tia said to each other was, "I'll see you in the workroom." So because we were speaking, we were like, "Oh, have you applied for season 2?" And she was like, "Yeah, I've applied." And I seen her in the workroom and I went, "How the hell did you get here?"
It's so good that you've been to DragCon before, because now imagine what it's going to be like. All of the the majority of the girls have been like just as before they're Rue girls, and now it's going to be so different next year.
It's going to be insane. Well, hopefully it's next year. Fingers crossed something happens. But it's going to be quite mad, because I remember how mad it was. Well, I mean, you've seen the photos then, yeah? It was crazy last year. So fingers crossed it's just as good for the season 2 queens, and who knows, at that point maybe there's going to be season 3.
Yeah. Jesus, and you get to see Rupaul in daylight as well, which is without the lights.
Can you tell us?
You don't want to.
No, true.
Even though this seems like a million years ago, so when Drag Race first came out and all your hacking scandal, what was that like? That must have been like devastating. All of your work, all of your like photo CV of everything you've done so far.
Literally. What happened was, so at that time, all of us on the group chat were like, when are we going to get verified? Like, when is that happening? When are we getting verified? So then the show came out, and the first night of, I think it was the first episode, an Instagram support system messenger thingy, messaging on Instagram being like, "Hey, we'd love to verify your account. If you just want to sign in here, verify that it's you, and we can get your account verified within under 2 minutes." And I was like, period. I'm going to be the first one verified. That's great. I'll be the first queen verified in season 2. I'll be like, poof, here I am. And then logged in details, gone. And they had logged me up like instantly like that.
So that was a scam.
And then that was a scam. And it was like there and then. It was like a scam completely there and then gone. And then I was just like, I literally was sitting there on my friend's sofa like, I've just been logged out on my Instagram. I was like, I've just been hacked. And she was like, what? And she was like, I was like, yeah, I've been hacked. Like, go look on my Instagram. Like, what's on my Instagram? And it was like, account for sale. And I was like, oh my God. And it was all this stuff. And then I remember sitting on my phone. I think I'd signed into like my boy Instagram account or whatever. And I was just like scrolling through Instagram, and I could start to see all my posts deleted. And I sat for an hour and just refreshed and seen all my posts one by one get deleted.
No.
Like looking back at it now, I'm like, it's kind of funny. But like in the moment, I was just sitting there like, well, that's gone. And I didn't know if they were
deleted, not archived.
I didn't know that they were deleting it, but they were deleting every single photo. But like Instagram, you're able to, like, the Instagram team is able to go in and like receive all your photos back. So I was able to get all my photos back, luckily. But like at the time, I didn't know if they were just deleting them or archiving them. So I was like, if these are getting deleted, I'm gonna cry big time. But
I think I would have been physically sick if that happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of weird because I said to my friend Anne, who was with me, she was like, "What do you do if you can't get it back?" I was like, "I'll just start a new Instagram." And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, at this point, it was the first episode, so that's my newest. This is my newest journey. Do you know what I mean? It's my freshest start, new point." So in my brain, I went, "If I can't get it back, I'll just start a new account, post my entrance look, and that'll be the start of my new Instagram." Do you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, but like that's in my brain, I was like, that's just how I'm gonna cope with this. Just like making something new and starting fresh, basically, and
so
losing
positive.
everything I
know. Such a young, positive queen.
I've just got to find the light in everything, girl. I said that I was like, if I can't find something that I enjoy, I'll change it. I'll mix it up until I do enjoy it, and I'm like happy with what I'm working on. And yeah, if my Instagram account got hacked again, it'd be the same sort of note. But I mean, I've got the 2 verifications on now, so she's not going anywhere.
Nice. Does anything happen with the police? Like, are they able to sort of catch up? Because they were on fucking Insta. We saw, didn't they? They were on like Insta Live, sitting in someone's bedroom, being like showing their face.
Weren't they like Turkish men or something?
Yeah, that was in like.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I was. Do you remember when Jake Yonsei was on? He like requested to join the live, and Jake Yonsei was like, "Do you want money?" He got like the Google translate out and was like, "Money is what you want." It was so
wild,
funny.
So much drama.
So much. And Cheryl was like tweeting. Cheryl was tweeting, and Cheryl was like, "Give Ellie her account back." Blah blah blah. But I think in the long run, it was obviously quite devastating because I think it really did affect the followers account. Because like my following isn't great or whatever. But I don't really care about numbers. That's just like something whatever. But it has affected it in the long run because I had lost a lot of followers because of that. And then because it was like a very new episode when people were trying to find Ellie Diamond on social media, they could on Instagram they couldn't find me because like it was getting hacked and it wasn't the right name or whatever. So God, it was a mess, but oh well.
But so good that you've got it all back.
Yeah, everything's back. I mean, there's a couple of photos that I've lost, but I know what photos they are, so I've been able to like go on and find like the one photo to keep on my phone or whatever. So oh well.
We were very, very impressed with your Pearl style is there something on my face moment with Rupaul confronting him about why he refuses to say your name with such Scottish flair.
Honestly.
Why do you not say an Ellie Diamond?
Honestly, it was very bold of you.
So bold.
Fantastic.
Love it. The bold and the beautiful.
Well, I just, at that moment, I mean, I'm still sitting here like, I do not think that was out of order at all. No, I'm cool.
It's a fair question.
Because it was, I don't know, for me, I think RuPaul in her mind, I think RuPaul thinks Scotland is the size of America. And like Lawrence lives here and I live way down here. And that's why her accent's so strong. And I just kind of like speak quite spoken or whatever. And sort of just like a one note Scottish accent. Because I don't think I have much of an accent. But like other people go, no, you have a huge accent.
I mean, you do.
And I don't really hear it a lot of the time just because I like speak clearly. As for Lawrence, just a bit more like that, babe. And
a bit more.
That was a good.
I ever said if I were to ever do a snatch game and you could do someone on your cast, I would do Lawrence hands down, hands down.
So was it really obvious? Well, from being a viewer, it seemed like for the first half anyway, it was so clear that Lawrence was RuPaul's favourite and she didn't have any qualms about letting that be obvious. Did it feel like that on the other side as well?
I mean, I guess we could kind of feel the vibe in the workroom for that, but I need to burp.
Oh, window drops.
Pardon me. Disgusting! I mean, yeah, we can kind of feel the vibe in the workroom that Lawrence was like RuPaul's favourite or whatever, but like that was another thing where I wasn't affected by that because like I don't really care. Like if RuPaul's like your favourite or whatever, I just tried to do good on the season and try to make like myself self-portray good.
Yeah.
Self-portray.
Yeah, self-portray good. I'm a bit dyslexic as well, so that doesn't help. But yeah, no, it was just sort of thing where I was just like, oh well, like that's how that's gonna come over. And like obviously Lawrence is really funny anyways. Like I can't get ready sitting next to Lawrence because she will just make me laugh and my eyes start watering and it's a disaster. And I've had it so many times where I've literally had a brush and I've been like, Lawrence, shut the fuck up. I was like, stop making me laugh. She's just so funny to like be around when she's at number 10, but when she's at a 4 or a 2, sometimes, but we get past it and she moves on and she wins the challenge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Do you think that because out of 4 of the queens, 2 of them for Scotland, this will help sort of regenerate the Scottish drag scene? Do you think this is going to help like build it up? Because that's what we're hoping. Because I would love to say yes. I mean, that's the thing. I would love to be like, yes, this has changed Scottish drag. It's helped put us on the map a little bit more. But like seriously, like I mean, yeah, I would love to say yes. But it comes from within Scotland. Scotland as Scotland itself, not the drag scene, not the pubs. It needs to have a better, more of a scene going on in Scotland because there isn't much going on in Scotland really. But like there needs to be more creative outlets for people to go and do things. As where, girl, you go to England or you go to London and there's a billion things you could do. There's so many things you could do and there's so many opportunities down there. As where up here there isn't many. So I guess it's sort of just like as a whole,
we kind of need to create that ourselves. But like me and Lawrence can't open a drag club or whatever and have loads of queens come and perform from all different types of spectrums of the drag scene. That's just not possible. But that's what us as a community should collectively come together and discuss these subjects. Because a lot of the time, it annoys me, a lot of the times people don't like to discuss things. They think a discussion is an argument, and that's not the case. If you're having a discussion and you're speaking about something and you're going back and forth and resolving a situation, as where an argument, you're battling against each other and you're fighting, and it comes to no result. There comes to no sort of resolution. But us as a Scottish drag scene, you need to discuss these things, say what's happening within the community that's wrong, fix them so we can have a better drag scene that'll thrive more and therefore give us more opportunities.
Yeah.
Here.
That's what we want to see.
Ellie, MP of Scotland.
Girl, literally.
Nicola's right-hand woman. From what we can see as well, like the queer nightlife spots in London are set up for performing. There's like stages in every single one.
Yes.
And what we've seen from like Edinburgh and stuff, like, is there space in the bars to have the girls performing properly? Because like,
no. And that's the thing. I've gone to, so I haven't been to the Rabbit Hole, but I know the Rabbit Hole stage is quite narrow. Well, there's a place in Glasgow called Polo. It's a Polo Lounge. There's something next, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a thing on every single Wednesday, a show called Suck. And their stage is like raised a little bit. And then there's a mezzanine on top. So I literally cannot fit in there. Literally cannot fit. I performed my Dorothy number. And when I got there, because my Dorothy boots were like the red pleasers. And I got there and I had the boots on. I was like, oh, I don't fit. So I had to wear my red Converse high tops just as my ruby slippers. So I had to wear flats. And that's
how tall are you in heels?
Smaller on my knees, girl. Smaller on my knees. No, I mean I'm 6'4" out of drag. So just however high the heels are, I guess.
An actual giant.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All the comedy this season came from seeing people like Ginny next to you.
Yeah, on the back row.
All the different heights, whatever. It's when a horror gets eliminated and you can see me physically lose my shit in the back of the stage. And Bimini looks up like literally like that. So funny.
Oh, so cute.
So what's the future for Ellie? Have you got anything exciting in the pipelines you want to let us know about?
Yeah. What's coming up?
I mean, I would love to say I have so much going on. There's so many things, but at the moment, God, it's only just gigs, and that's all that I wanted from this experience. I just wanted to go out, perform, and showcase my drag around the UK because I didn't get the chance to do that as a local queen. Just in Scotland, there wasn't opportunities for me to go and experience everything else. So therefore, that's what I want to do, and that's what I've got. So I've got a lot of tours. Obviously, the Big Voss tour happening next year, which is very exciting, and then I have a tour with another queen from season 2 happening in the summer, which just has to be announced yet, which is very fun.
Secretive.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that one because it's someone that I didn't really get to know a lot during the show. And she's just a crazy person, so I can't wait to be there with her. And then the Driving and Drag tours, which is happening literally next month. So I'm preparing for that today. I'm going to start getting my costumes and my mixes done for that today.
Nice. You can finally make back some of the money that you had to spend on Drag Race.
Wow, and it was a lot. Trust me, I'm still paying off that fucking loan.
Of course. I remember Cracker saying that when she went, she took a loan out of $40,000.
What, for All Stars?
No, for the first
original
one, $40,000 or something.
I didn't spend that much. Oh my God.
Well, at least you're making all your stuff.
You can make all your shit. If you're a queen that can't make outfits, you don't do your own wigs and stuff. It's
but Cracker does does your own wigs.
She didn't do hers.
She does, but she didn't do any of it, I guess. I mean, that's the same with a hoarder. A hoarder can do costumes. She's a fashion student, but does she make all of her runways? No. I mean, it's just sort of the thing that's just I guess it's easy access for some people to be, someone else make it. And girl, if it was my choice, girl, I would not have made a single thing.
Were you able to utilize anything that you already had, or did you make everything from the ground up?
Oh my God, there were so many costumes. I was like, okay, I'll use this for this runway. My entrance look was 2 different separate costumes. So the original bodysuit part was from Drag Con. And then, the chapped gown skirt thing was from Drag World 2 years ago. And I just put the two of them together, be like, cute, that's an entrance lick. And then my Dripping in Diamonds was a gown that I wore for Drag Con with like it was like a fishtail with like a skirt at the bottom, and then I had like a little pattern skirt. So it was like a 2-tiered skirt. But I just like chopped the bottom half off, put the pleasers on, added more stones, and added more like big dangly stones. So I used that for the Dripping in Diamonds runway. And then there was a couple of other things I just had. I can't remember though, but I took some stuff or like took things apart or whatever and changed them about.
When we asked Ahura that question, we were like, did you use anything that you had before? And she's like, no, because I never wear anything more than once. So must be nice.
We need to find out where her local charity shop is and just stalk it.
I was like, she's the person to be sisters with. It's like, you've worn it. Come on, my turn now. Give it.
Literally. She probably just gave it all to sister.
So when the inevitable film of your life comes out, who do you think would be playing Ellie?
I mean, who could really encounter everything? Girl, me. Let me. There's no one else. There's no one else apart from probably my twin brother that could play me in drag. I don't know. Maybe like SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, give me a cartoonized. Like, mine wouldn't be a real life, so it would be a cartoon. So I don't know. Get the voice of SpongeBob to play me. I don't know.
One of the Powder Puff Girls or something.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, totally. Blossom the house.
And what about Elliot? Who would play Elliot?
In the film of your...
Not your twin brother. Too easy.
Oh, I'd probably say like Zac Efron. You know, someone so... Zac Efron, yeah.
We're going to need to put him in some places, though, because Zac Efron is a short guy.
But I'm sure he can dance. He can dance.
I'm sure he could do a lot.
So who would be Ellie's parents? Who birthed you?
It doesn't have to be a man and a woman. They can be anything.
Ken, what? Dig her up, Judy Garland. Judy Garland. Give her like
Check
a little...
Up, boys.
Give her some cat and she'll be like pure... She'll be back from the great grave in no time. Judy Garland, I'd love to see that. And then, I don't know, who'd play my dad? Probably like The Rock. Why not? Like Judy Garland and The Rock.
I'm going to need to see them fuck as well.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see the cameras in there for that.
Oh my good girl, Summer Over the Rainbow, that house.
Okay, one question we need to know. Tell us about your best nightlife memory.
Oh, okay. So one that just comes to mind just because it's so stupid, and whenever I tell people that, they go, "You are." So so I was it was Easter like years ago, and I dressed up as a huge Easter bunny, and I had two pink fluffy jumpers, and I had a pink jumper here, and then I turned the other one inside out, sewn up the leg holes, and used them as like my bottom half, and like put like a little drawstring knot, so it was like a cute fur look. Had a tail, had ears, and I had the shoes, and I went out clubbing. Girl, I got so drunk that I ended up shagging this guy round the back of the student union, like the club that we were at, in the bushes. But like I had like my bunny bum, like my bum out of the back of the bunny dress to get pumped. I was just so drunk. And I remember just coming back into the club, and my friends like, "Where the fuck were you?" And I was like, "Quah, I just got a piece."
Was everyone like, "Oh, all your chocolate eggs have melted down the back of your trousers"?
Oh my God! No.
Sorry,
no.
Bit early for that, maybe.
Mama, it was white chocolate, not egg.
I love as well how we're like, tell us about your best nightlife memory, and people are normally like, "Oh, like when I saw Lady Gaga," and you're like, "I was getting fucked as a bunny."
God, yeah, that's a good ass memory.
Hopefully for him too.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea, but that's the thing though as well, because he was just so hot, and I think he was straight, but oh well.
Well, here we are.
They often are, aren't they?
Right.
And finally, is there anyone in the drag world that you want to shout out? Maybe like another local Dundee queen that you want to put a spotlight on, or just anyone really?
Yeah, there's loads of queens within Scotland that need recognition for the art that they have. Because that's the thing as well. I'm going to keep talking about it because I'm so passionate about it. But it's like there's so much talent up here in Scotland that people out with just haven't seen. And that's the thing as well. Like, I didn't apply for season 1, so therefore they didn't know me. But I applied for season 2, and I got on straight away because of like just have not been recognised before. And I'm sure there's so many queens within Scotland that if they were to put a tape in, or they were just to be like, hey, this is my name, we get on the show like that. I mean, the show's not the be all and end all, but there needs to be more eyes looking towards Scotland for the talent. But I would say Demi Point is a queen from Dundee. She's fairly new to drag, but has already, like, she knows how to sew, she knows how to do hair, she can paint her face down. My friend Anne Spank is a trans woman. As trans women need to be more representation for trans women who do drag on the show, as well as women on the show. Because God, there's not enough of it. I've said once and I'll say it again, we've had too many gay men. I'm not going to say the F word. Too many gay men on.
You can say this is on. We say faggots every second.
I don't.
Too many gay men on Drag Race that do the same thing, bro. They're skinny, blonde hair, keep it cute, nice contour, nude lip. It needs to be diverse. It needs to be more diverse. From now on.
If rumours are to be believed, perhaps.
Dun, dun, dun!
Perhaps, and then maybe we will see females. Please ignore that.
I'm a dog.
Maybe we will see women. Maybe we will see women and then trans women. But also as well, with having both Ginny and Bimini, they have to open the world up now for all non-binary folk. So, well,
that's the. I mean, we've had it's. I guess from the past 2 seasons, 13 and 2, have gave it a little nudge. We've gave a nudge with having got Mick on season 13 and Bimini and Ginny. I'm literally seeing a photo of her right now. It's the calendar of Ginny being on the show. So it's a nudge, but girl, we need a push.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Have you got a Ginny Lemon calendar?
Yeah, we've got the wait, have you not seen it? The I can't spin. The Drag Race calendar.
No.
The one that they released.
Oh, we'll have to get one for the office.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, I've got a photo of Ginny deep facing a lemon cake.
Classic.
Like that.
Of course.
Yeah, very that.
Well, yes, thank you so much for taking the time, and it's been a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, good luck with everything you do. Hopefully you bring in all the big names to Scotland.
And hopefully we'll see you in Scotland.
Yes.
Literally, oh my goodness, well, hopefully we see you guys soon. I mean, I haven't met you in person, but I can't wait till the day happens.
Oh, I know. We will have a key.
We'll be at one of the cons, or hopefully Drag World at the very least.
Yeah, or at the tour. I'm sure we're going to come. To the tour.
Yeah. Of course.
Amazing. Right, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you so much.